Gospel of St. John chapter 13, verse 1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that this hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. As I was praying about Holy Thursday, these verses deeply touched me. And I was drawn to a homily by Pope Benedict in the year of 2008 on Holy Thursday, which reflects on the same theme which I had in my mind. The same thoughts resonated with the depth of the thought of Holy Father. Here, the hour of Jesus have come. This is the hour for which he came, and this is the hour that entire his mission, his work, his life, all were directed to. The hour consists of two words in Greek, agape and metabasis. The love and passage. So these two words constitute the passion, death, resurrection of Jesus. Jesus, sometimes we think that Jesus came into the world as a man, then he lived with us 33 years, and then he went back to the Father. It is not the same. He has taken up his flesh, his humanity. He was going back to the Father as a man. It was a passage from this world to the Father's house, a departure to glory. So when he departed from this world, he took up all of us into that glory, from death into glory. So Jesus, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. We can see that end on the cross. Jesus said, "It is finished." The love by which he loved. By the same power of love, he transformed the act of killing. The meaning of the cross was simply an act of killing. He transformed that act of killing into an act of giving. This is that glorification that Jesus meant in the high priestly prayer. Father, glorify me. The hour has come to glorify the Son. And he hears the voice, "I will glorify you." So as we are coming into the stage of the washing of the feet, we can see Jesus stripped of his divinity. He stripped of the cloth of his glory and wrapped the towel of humanity to become a slave. Imagine. He came into the world as a human being. In Philippians 2 we hear, though he was equal to God, he did not consider equality as something to be grasped. Rather, he emptied himself and became a man. That great kenosis, and that we can see it over here, Jesus is serving us by washing the feet. What does it mean to wash the feet? Why is he washing our feet? So there is an act of purification, act of cleansing. So Jesus, John chapter 15 say, you are made clean by the word I have spoken to you. Jesus is washing us by his love and his word. Every time when we turn to Jesus, his word, in an attentive listening, in faith and in love and in obedience, the word has the power to sanctify us. The word has the power to cleanse us and purify us. Somehow or other, like when we look at our life, our feet is not clean. The way, the path that we walked has lot of dirt. We accumulate lot of dirt. The confusions, imaginations, thoughts, shame, sadness, guilt, the words we have spoken, the deep misdeeds we have done, and we carry a great burden around us. None of our acts can cleanse us. No merit, any work of our merit cannot deliver us from this misery. But Jesus is standing at our foot and washing us and cleansing us. As he was going to Peter, and as he approached Peter, Peter said, Master, are you going to wash my feet? No. You shall never wash my feet. Lord, do you wash my feet? Jesus answered him, what I am doing you do not know, but afterward you will understand. Peter said to him, you shall never wash my feet. It's very true. I think we are all actually followers of Peter in one way or other. We do not understand what Jesus is doing. We do not understand the power of baptism, what he has done in our life. We do not understand the power of sacraments. We do not understand the meaning of his words. Jesus washing my feet, it was not just by water. On the cross, when the soldiers pierced him, blood and water gets forth from his side. Our inner conscience, my guilt, my inner being is transformed by this blood. So the words he has spoken is not simply a set of words or a teaching, rather it is his own self-giving act, his own being. When Jesus says, I am washing your feet, he is not washing our feet by mere water, rather by an act of self-giving love. So there is a nature of his love. It is the nature of gift and example. Sometimes the entire essence of Christianity is around this, receiving this gift and becoming an example around what we have received. So as we look at Peter, we can really see how difficult it is for us to receive a gift. When the Lord becomes a slave, when the Lord strips off the majesty, divine glory, and becomes a slave human being to serve me. It's not in my conscience. I cannot accept a God who becomes a slave at my feet, who is washing me. It's a reversal of all the order. The mighty Lord, the all-powerful Lord, who has created the world, who is the author of life, becoming my servant. Peter could not imagine, because Peter is immediately responding with that enthusiasm, and whatever he feels, he immediately communicates. He said, "No, Lord, you will not wash my feet." And Jesus said, "If I do not wash you, you have no part in me. If I do not wash you, you have no part in me." Then Peter says, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." So black and white journey from Peter cannot even stand at anywhere in middle, or he cannot stay in obedience. The first he says, "Lord, you will not wash." Then he says, the Lord wanted to wash his feet, but he says, "I wash my head also, wash my whole being. I want to be part of it." So in a way, this is where I feel one of our greatest problem, one of our greatest challenge of approaching Jesus when he comes to wash our feet. Church fathers compared this washing of the feet to sacraments. It's not the sacrament of confession or baptism or one or two sacraments. The entire sacraments is exemplified in the particular gospel, because this passage is about incarnation, death, and resurrection of the Lord, coming from the Father and returning to the Father, and passage from humanity from this world into the Father's world. It is about transformation. The Lord says, if I do not wash you, you will not have any part in me. We are all washed. We received this bath, the bath of baptism, by which we became partakers of divine nature. The Lord took our flesh on the cross and passed us into the Father's house. And we are risen with Christ, seated at the right hand of the Father. And the act of giving that he has done on the cross is not just begun in baptism and it's ending in baptism. It is continuing. The Lord continues to give. He never stops giving himself. Sometimes we kind of see that, oh, he gives forgiveness, he gives mercy, he gives particular graces. But the Lord is giving here himself. The only thing that, the reason that he has stripped off his glory and became man and washing my feet, to show that I'm giving everything to you. I'm your servant. I have come to give all my being for your own sake. This is the great love of agape, by which he transformed my fallen humanity into a new being. Jesus, when on the cross, he fused himself and transformed himself into a new being. A being one with the Father, and that same being one with humanity. So there's a pro-existence. So he leads us into a pro-existence. So let's think about it. Where am I standing? Am I standing with Peter, expecting always a Lord of glory, whom I need to always serve and wash, and I'm always a servant? Here Jesus changing the plate, changing the whole direction of thinking and transforming us. So this is the understanding of God revealed in this washing of the feet. A God who becomes servant, a God who washes and transforms our being into a new glory. So this is, see, as you go into this passage, He says, "3:34, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another." Jesus is here a sacrament and example. It is not that seven sacraments, the sacrament is Jesus himself. By his giving, by his self-surrender, the act of love, he enters into the depth of my being and transforms my depth of my being into a new existence. And he says, "I have set an example for you. Love one another as I have loved you. By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you have love one another." I'm thinking, what should we be doing here on Holy Thursday? The Lord is inviting us to wash the feet of others in love, to commit my entire life and being to an act of service in love. But is that the only one thing? It's a call to wash others' feet in forgiveness. Receiving that unconditional forgiveness from heaven, from the heart of Jesus, and entering into a life of forgiveness. What I have received on the cross, this forgiveness, I can never claim a credit. It is not by my merit, rather I am forgiven unconditionally. We are all debtors of forgiveness, not creditors of forgiveness. Let's take a time to enter into this forgiveness. Every rebellion, every negative resentment in the depth of my heart, Lord, I want to forgive and extend this forgiveness to others. And I want to follow my Master, who didn't just say the words, rather on the cross pronounced, "Father, forgive them, they do not know what they are doing." Maybe this Holy Thursday, let it become an immersion into the life of forgiveness. What I have received in baptism, let it flourish today. And it's a time of joy and gratitude. The Lord is washing my feet to invite me into a great banquet. That banquet is Eucharist. Though I have received baptism, I did not stay in the pure heart. I lost my purity. I lost my innocence. And Lord is again giving by the washing of my feet in confession. He is forgiving me. Like Peter, let me lay down my resistance. I want to lay down my resistance. Lord, I do not want you to wash my feet. I want to serve you. But today I change my attitude, Lord. Lord, I want you to wash me. Cleanse me by the word and love. And I want to follow you. And I want to participate that in that intimate meal, the love between the Father and the Son, the Eucharistic meal. Thank you, Lord, for this Eucharist. Thank you, Lord, for this confession. Thank you, Lord, for serving me, washing my feet. Amen.